What's up, YouTube? It's your Huckleberry here, back with another video, and we're going to keep rolling out channels that I thoroughly enjoy watching. So on this video, we're going to react to Decoy, used to be known as Decoy Voice. Really cool dude that likes to break down the hypocrisy and the idiocracy of what's going on in the world, namely from the left. So without further ado, let's check him out and let's see what he's got for us.
The difference between anti-ICE activists and ICE is getting horrifyingly smaller, as after they use secret encrypted chats to train, plan, and attack US forces, they're now recruiting kids to walk out of classes and march on their behalf. In
Yeah, that's messed up. I seen some videos. They were kids just acting crazy on top of cars in the middle of the street, just hooping and hollering. It's really sad because, not only are they pushing politics in school, these parents, they ain't raising their kids right, and I'm putting blame on teachers and parents right now for the way these kids are acting. But it's in general, this is just wrong. They should just leave the kids out of it.
California, what looks to be teenagers are taking the streets. But in New York City, it looks like they're brainwashing their preschoolers.
My name is Dr. Canton. I am the director here at the Chloe Day School here in Harlem, New York. As today is a national day of protest, it's too cold outside for us to go outside and protest. Our teachers cannot walk off the job and leave our children unsupervised. So today we decided in solidarity we will support all those who are out protesting against the violence that we see and the harm that we see happening to our friends.
And those kids don't know what the fuck is going on. Just go back in there and let those kids go back to coloring in between the lines. This is so stupid.
I want to say, stop the hating. Right. What do we want to tell people?
Enough, stop hurting people.
And all the way back to San Francisco, they're doing the same.
You see those three kids in the front. They had three kids in the front that they trained to say what they said. And the rest of them are just in the back like, what's going on? I mean, obviously it's pixelated, you can't really see, but you can see enough to know that's what's going on.
Where it appears they even escorted these kids to march out in the streets.
It's like a field day for these kids.
Every single parent seeing this should immediately take their kid out of that school and sue them for endangering them, as the adult to student ratio looks something like 20 to 1. Now in a closed classroom setting, that's perfectly fine, but marching alongside the street on behalf of a movement, the kids will have absolutely zero in.
Yeah, they're not holding hands, they're not doing the pairing up. It's just, that's ridiculous. My kid was in there, I definitely would pull him out and sue him.
Impact over is so insanely dangerous and meaningless, I imagine that school loses its insurance tomorrow. As best case, they capture some footage to gain clout for the adults' social media accounts. Worst case, a couple kids wander off in the chaos and get run over. And over in LA, that's exactly what these students are asking for, sprinting out into the streets to stop ICE. And back east it's even worse, as they straight block these icy streets. Now, at least in Georgia, when the kids tried to leave, they were marched right back into class. But in other parts...
And let me tell you, the kids don't give a shit what they're marching out for. They don't care if it's right or left. If the whole thing was like, oh, Trump said to march out of school, blah, 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 they would do that too. They just want to walk out of school. They don't care what the reasoning is. Like, think about it. When you were in school, you would take any reason to get out of school. It's just a reason to get out of school. So this is ridiculous. Why are y'all involving kids?
To the state, they're nearly being run over, as homeschooling has never looked smarter, but even school choice is equally important. Where in some states, your kid can either be forced into a classroom to receive an education, or be used as a useful pawn for activist adults that are willing to sacrifice your kid for their amusement. I meant movement, but then again, both are applicable. As watching the walkout over in Stockton, California, somebody called out the school for doing this while having a 0% math proficiency, which is actually not an exaggeration. Just over 1/3 of their students graduate.
Bro, you guys can I told my friend just the other day, and I might have put this in the video. There's certain things they just don't teach in school anymore, and math is one of them. I've got these videos reacting to these basic questions that today's students get asked, and they can't add or divide. Math is not math for them. They don't care, they don't get it. And geography is another one. They don't know where anything's at. History is another one too. It's almost everything, to be honest with you. I mean, look at science is way down. And I've also heard in a video where this eighth grade teacher was complaining because hardly anybody in her class could read. So we got a serious education problem going down in this country. And this right here in Stockton is a perfect representation of that.
Only 1/4 of them can read, while 0/5 of them can understand those fractions. Meanwhile, the tax man asks for more money for education, but they're not teaching the kids math or anything really, just how to be an activist. And when only 26% of them know how to read, it makes sense why it's so easy to get them to blindly run into the streets. Which finally brings me to why I said anti-ICE activists are becoming like ISIS, as I think they're only putting the kids out front because they want something to happen to them. Even though they deny it, we know these protests are actually riots.
Damn, that's a hot take right there. Decoy coming in with a hot take, and I'm not going to refute it. I like to play devil's advocate in a lot of situations and put the shoe on the other foot or try to look at the perspective from the other side. It's hard to put on the shoes of radical leftists and see where they're coming from because they make no sense a lot of times. But if I had to in this situation, I don't think that they're putting them out there to get hurt as much as they're just trying to incite chaos. Now, that being said, the orchestrators of the left, the ones that are paying for the protests, the ones pulling all the strings, the cabal, all that kind of stuff, they are stupid. Otherwise, they would not let this happen. But they probably see that that is a possible outcome. I would tend to agree with him that they probably don't care because they're in the shadows and it ain't gonna come back on them. But that's definitely a hot take from Decoy right there.
Local police are getting increasingly more aggressive with them, which is confirmed to be part of their plan so they can create flashpoint moments to rally about later. They tried to get it with that bunny ears hoax that was quickly debunked, but now all they got is a second idiot that might lose his eye, with someone claiming they were pregnant while getting pepper-bowled in the stomach. And why would you go to a riot while carrying a baby? The same reason you would take a class of preschoolers to protest in the streets. You're a terrible person. You belong in prison, and the kids need to be taken away for their safety. But unfortunately, the left has gone so insane, they'll never call out their comrades on this. As over in Portland, the rioters got blasted with tear gas.
So guys, I live in Portland, and I occasionally drive by this facility. Usually it's in the early morning, and you'll see maybe 5 to 10 old liberal white women out there starting the protest early because all these clowns right here are in bed. They're ready, getting prepped for the night. It's complete chaos and crazy, and you won't believe. And just aside from the protest too, just the apocalyptic nature of the way things look. Just run down, dirty, trashed up, homeless everywhere. It just looks bad. It's very third world looking. Almost. Anyway, let's get back to Decoy here. He ain't got much more.
And some poor kid got doused with it. And even when the story got posted to Reddit to over 3,000 upvotes, the top post wasn't "Stop doing this," it was "What to do when you inevitably get gassed." Once again proving her getting sprayed wasn't an accident, but part of their plan, that they're almost hoping to happen again as human sacrifice has become a core tenet of accomplishing their agenda. But police involvement in their injuries is rare. The bigger danger to these student protests are the other students. Weeks ago, the walkout in Minneapolis resulted in mass brawls between students. And back in the riots in LA in February, the schools also allowed the students to walk out, where tragically, a stabbing occurred. as the one kid ended up in critical condition, all in an effort to march against Trump's deportation plan. Why wasn't this gaining national media attention? Liberal school district marches the kids against Trump, only for attempted murder to get swept under the rug. It didn't stop a single deportation, but oh well, almost 1 year to the day, let the schools try again, except this time with preschoolers. I think every adult involved in allowing this needs to be arrested by the feds. It sounds extreme, but what's the alternative? Waiting patiently until a kid does pay the price for these actually evil activist adults, as if they're actually successful in getting their human sacrifice.
I mean, he's making a good point. They got what they wanted almost with Good and Peretti up in Minnesota, unfortunately losing their lives. But that's shadow cabal that's pulling all the strings. I mean, that's what they want, because that's just going to cause more, riots and chaos. So just imagine what would happen if one of these little kids, something happens to one of these little kids, and how they're going to try to put the blame, on ICE or on Trump or something like that. It's ridiculous that they're willing to play that card.
No matter what the actual circumstances are, the left will ignore all the inconvenient information and just say, this is Trump's fault.
Right.
So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, subscribe to Decoy.
And that, there you go, right there. He said it. He was right. And it's sad that they got to involve kids in their ludicrousness. And I said in another video that Gen Alpha's cooked, man. I mean, Gen Z is in a bad shape, but Gen Alpha, when these kids grow up, Lord help us. We got to do a full 180 on our education, so the next generation can pick up all the slack from all the poorly educated individuals in the last couple decades. We need to do a lot of changes around the country. This is really, really sad. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching Decoy with me. I do enjoy watching his stuff, and in the future, probably will be bringing you more of him. Yeah, leave a like down below, guys. I would appreciate it. You're Daisy if you do. And until next time, peace.